the fastest way to learn Arabic is not being drowned in grammar. It's to build the language as a living ability. You collect words in context. You use those words in speech. You get corrected quickly. You repeat until the tongue becomes trained. And then grammar comes in at the right time, like a tool. It redefines you. It makes you accurate. It makes you understand deeper. But it's not the foundation for fluency. Vocabulary and usage are the foundation when it comes to learning the Arabic language. So the point of this chapter is, if you want to have the fastest path and follow the fastest path to learning the Arabic language, becoming fluent, stop asking what is the rule and start asking what are the words I need and how do I use them in a real sentence today. Because the one who learns the Arabic language in the beginning like a grammar class, and every time he's been told something, he tries to understand why he's being told like this, when even the person that's using it is not even thinking of why is it being used like that with those rules. Why did he say ضرب وليس ضربي وليس ضرب or ضرب or ضربا or ضرب? It will burn you out very early. But the one who learns Arabic like it is a skill, a malaka, something that is a trait and a living language, you speak it first, he will progress faster. He will stay motivated. And most important, he will reach the point where grammar actually benefits him instead of suffocating him and draining his mental strength, trying to understand why this is being said like this. And before we get into the practicality on how to acquire this, I want to read to you another quote from this book, عناية الصحابة باللغة العربية وأثره في النهوض بها, which is a book that was prepared by an Majma al-Lugha al-Arabiya, which is in Mecca, which is a place where they do, it's like a center in Mecca where they do a lot of works towards the Arabic language. And this is from amongst those works. And this put together by a ustad called Muhammad ibn Mabkhut. Muhammad ibn Mabkhut. And he is part of this Majma. And he did a research about the importance that the Sahaba gave to the Arabic language. Now in this book, he brings a quote by Ibn Faris from the book As-Sahibi fi Fiqh al-Lugha al-Arabiyya. And he mentions something similar to what Ibn Khaldun said. And Ibn Faris, of course, very known scholar as a reference in the Arabic language. He says, إِنَّ لَعِلْمَ الْعَرَبِ أَصْلًا وَفَرْعًا أما الفرع فمعرفة الأسماء والصفات كقولنا رجل وفرس وطويل وقصير وهذا هو الذي يبدأ به عند التعلم. This is the important keyword that I want to get. وهذا الذي يبدأ به عند التعلم. وأما الأصل فالقول على موضوع اللغة وأوليتها ومنشأها ثم على رسوم العرب في مخاطبتها وما لها من الافتنان تحقيقا ومجازا. And here we have as well a bunch of fawaid that we can extract from here to know how to approach learning the Arabic language from the scholars themselves from hundreds of years ago, not contemporary scholars or anything like that. Now he says the first branch or Lugha al-Arabiya is two things, a branch and a foundation. The first is the branch. It's knowing nouns and adjectives, sifat, such as saying the man, the horse, tall, short. And he says, وَهَذَا الَّذِي يُبْدَأُ بِهِ عِنْدَ التَّعَلُّمِ. This is what a learner starts with when learning a language. As for the foundation, al-asl, so it says two things, a branch and a foundation. As for the foundation, it is speaking about the subject of the language itself, نعم, i.e. فَالْقَوْلُ عَلَى مَوْضُوعِ اللُّغَةِ, and then about the ways how it began and where it came from, and then about the ways Arabs speak when they communicate and how their speech is precise, both in literal meaning and in figurative meaning. So what does this mean? First, you learn the branch, which is the vocabulary, the nouns, the adjectives, the sifat, and this is what he said, this is what you start with learning. Then there is the foundation, which is knowing how the Arabs spoke with these words, how they communicated with the speech, literal meaning and figurative meaning. Let me give you an example. If you're learning the English language and you learn the word run, okay? Now you know what run means, the default meaning. However, now you're going to see somebody who's a native speaker and he will say, man, I ran out of money, man. I got to run it up. In the same sentence, he uses run with two different meanings. Now, so this is what he means by, learn the speech of the Arabs, both in literal meaning and in figurative meaning. So what does I ran out of money mean? And what does it mean I got to run it up in certain dialects in the US? Now, the river runs next to my house. Now, I run a business. So with the Arabic language, you do the same thing. For example, something that most of you, even if you are beginning, you will know most of the times what dars means, right? Ad-darsu, the default meaning is lesson. However, ad-dars can come, and what it really means in the Arabic language as an asl is atharun ala shay, an effect that was caused on something. So you can say, for example, خافت العرب أو خاف العلماء على الدروس في اللغة. The scholars, they fear الدروس في اللغة. If you only know lessons as dars, and you don't know the asl of the kalima, that it means to affect something, then you read this sentence, you say, what do you mean? The ulama got scared of the durus upon the language. So if you go back to the meaning, to the original meaning, ad-dars is an effect, and it could be a negative effect, right? So you say when the ajam, when the foreigners came into the peninsula, the Arabic peninsula, there was a dars that happened in the Arabic language. There was an effect, right? And there was some sort of corruption that happened to the classical Arabic language. And by understanding the source meaning of darasa, you understand what at-tadris means better. At-tadris, to teach something, it means to repeat something to someone until that information affects his heart. I.e., I would repeat something to you so many times until it's part of you, until you know it, until it's part of the knowledge that you have. So this is why when you learn the Arabic language, first you learn the vocabulary. Second, you learn how this vocabulary is used in context, figurative, non-figurative, so that way you are able to speak like the people speak. You don't just go to the dictionary and find run and say, what is this person is earning? I gotta run it up. I run out of money. The dictionary doesn't say this. Why? Because these are things that are spoken. So likewise, the Arabic language is a spoken language, and you need to take it from the natives to know how to use it.